If you've ever stepped into a dojo or gym, you know martial arts is about much more than fighting. It reflects a culture, a philosophy, a way of life. And although we can simplify these arts into their bare essentials to make them easier to learn, each one is really its own journey. So today we break down all types of martial arts in under 60 seconds, straight to the point. East Asian martial arts. Let's start off with the most popular style around the world, karate. Originating from Okinawa, Japan, this style focuses on striking, specifically punches and kicks. Styles vary, but generally karate practitioners focus on stance work and cultivating precision, power, and discipline through repetitive training. There's also various weapons training from the Bo staff to the Kama sword. If you're looking for a martial art to get in shape and build your confidence, karate is a great option. Similar to karate, Taekwondo is one of the most well-known Korean martial arts, known particularly for its high, fast-spinning kicks. Practitioners focus on kicking techniques, speed, agility, and powerful jumping and turning kicks. Taekwondo literally means the way of the foot and fist, but these days it's mostly known for those flying kicks. Taekwondo became an Olympic sport in the year 2000. So if you want to train for the Olympics, or simply want to defend yourself with some flashy kicks, then take Taekwondo. Up next, let's look at Kung Fu. Coming from China, this is actually a term rather than a style, meaning skills achieved with time and effort. In other words, it refers to any skill achieved through hard work and practice. Although there are many different styles of Kung Fu such as Shaolin and Wing Chun, they differ in their techniques and philosophies. But generally, practitioners focus on using both offensive and defensive moves in combination. Kung Fu is also deeply intertwined with Chinese art, culture, history, and philosophy, particularly Taoist philosophy. Next up is Judo. Originating from Japan, Judo means gentle way. This martial art is highly technical and focuses primarily on throws, joint manipulation, and submission holds. Judoka wear a uniform with a white gi and a black belt. Unlike other styles, Judo doesn't rely on brute strength but instead uses technique to overcome an opponent. It's a dynamic, full-contact combat sport that has gained worldwide popularity as a self-defense method and an Olympic sport. Finally, we have Aikido. Another Japanese art, Aikido means the way of harmony. Unlike other martial arts that focus on overpowering the opponent, Aikido teaches practitioners to use the opponent's own energy against them, throwing them off balance. By doing so, Aikido aims to achieve harmony between people and promotes non-aggression and peaceful resolution of conflict. Southeast Asian and South Asian martial arts. Now let's head over to Southeast Asia and explore some of the martial arts found in the region. Starting off with Pencak Silat. Although this term literally means to strike with the 5 ways, it's difficult to define exactly what Pencak Silat is. Originating from Indonesia and Malaysia, it's more a term used to refer to a variety of martial arts practiced across the region. Generally speaking, practitioners blend quick strikes with fluid movements that sometimes become artistic and ritualistic. Pencak Silat is deeply rooted in culture and history and spiritual beliefs. Some styles emphasize weapons training such as the stick, sword, or knife, while others focus on grappling and submissions. Next up, let's take a look at Muay Thai. Originating from Thailand, Muay Thai literally means the art of 8 limbs. Practitioners use their fists, elbows, knees, and shins to attack their opponents. Muay Thai was originally designed for close combat and military applications, but now it's widely practiced as a combat sport. It's often referred to as the art of 8 limbs because it's the only martial art that allows the use of 8 points of contact, which are 2 fists, 2 elbows, 2 knees, and 2 shins. Finally, we'll look at Kalaripayattu. Originating from India, this is one of the oldest martial arts in the world, dating back several thousand years. Kalaripayattu is considered a way of life, and practitioners focus on breathing, meditation, and diet in addition to physical training. It combines a variety of striking, throwing, and locking techniques, many of which are inspired by the movements of animals such as the cobra, elephant, and tiger. Weapon training is also common, and practitioners learn how to use swords, staffs, and other weapons. European martial arts. Now let's move over to Europe and explore some of the martial arts from the region. First up is boxing. Originating from the United Kingdom, this martial art focuses on punches and footwork and is practiced either competitively or as a form of self-defense. Boxing requires excellent hand-eye coordination, timing, and footwork. Practitioners must be able to throw punches quickly and accurately while avoiding their opponent's punches. It's been popularized by famous figures such as Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. These days, it's also a popular Olympic sport. Next up is wrestling. Although it's commonly associated with the Greeks and Romans, wrestling is one of the oldest forms of combat dating back thousands of years. It's a form of combat that involves grappling with one or more opponents, using various holds, throws, and pins to gain an advantage. The objective is usually to force the opponent out of a designated area or to pin them down and keep them there. It's been practiced since ancient Olympic times and continues to be a popular event in modern Olympics. Finally, we'll look at fencing. Originating from France and Italy, this is a sword-based combat sport that involves two opponents who lunge at each other and try to score points by touching their opponent with their sword. Fencing requires a high level of precision, speed, and agility, as well as knowledge of the rules and regulations of the sport. In addition to being a popular Olympic event, fencing is also practiced as a form of historical reenactment and as a hobby. A closely related art is HEMA, which stands for Historical European Martial Arts. This is the reconstruction of lost sword fighting and dueling techniques from medieval Europe. It often involves two opponents using a variety of weapons such as swords, daggers, and shields. HEMA practitioners study historical texts and archaeological evidence to reconstruct these techniques. American and modern martial arts. Moving over to America, let's look at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Originating from, you guessed it, Brazil, this martial art focuses on ground fighting and submissions. Practitioners use a variety of techniques such as joint locks and choke points to submit their opponents. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is particularly effective for smaller fighters and is the dominant force in mixed martial arts. Its effectiveness has made it very popular in MMA competitions. Capoeira is another Brazilian art that originated from African slaves in the 16th century. This martial art is a mix of dance, acrobatics, and combat, and practitioners use a variety of kicks, sweeps, and hand strikes to defeat their opponents. Capoeira is also a cultural phenomenon that reflects the struggles and triumphs of the Afro-Brazilian community and continues to be practiced as a form of cultural expression and self-defense. Another modern martial art is Krav Maga. This is a military-based Israeli martial art developed for the Israel Defense Forces. Krav Maga practitioners learn a variety of techniques that focus on fast, brutal, and practical self-defense tactics. The art has no rules, and the ultimate goal is survival. For those living in dangerous environments or wanting a raw form of self-defense, Krav Maga might be for you. Hybrid and contemporary martial arts. Now let's explore some hybrid and contemporary arts, starting off with MMA or mixed martial arts. This full-contact combat sport combines elements from various martial arts including boxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and judo. MMA practitioners must be well-rounded and able to compete in all areas of combat. With its high level of intensity and excitement, MMA has become one of the most popular sports in the world. Systema is another modern art originating from Russia. This is a Russian military art that utilizes breathing, relaxation, and natural body movements to enhance an individual's ability to fight, to survive in hostile environments. Unlike traditional martial arts that focus on rigid techniques, Systema encourages practitioners to use their bodies in a more natural and relaxed way, allowing them to adapt to different situations. Finally, let's finish off with Jeet Kune Do. Developed by the legendary Bruce Lee, Jeet Kune Do is less of a martial art and more of a philosophy. It emphasizes practicality, efficiency, and personal expression. Bruce Lee encouraged his students to absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely yours. Jeet Kune Do practitioners often draw techniques from a variety of sources and adapt them to their own needs and preferences. It's a highly individualistic approach to martial arts that encourages practitioners to develop their own style. Conclusion: each martial art has its own strengths and philosophies, and there is no single best style. Instead, there's the one that works best for you. Whether you're interested in self-defense, fitness, competition, or cultural exploration, there's a martial art for everyone. And remember, martial arts is not just about fighting, it's about growth, protection, and respect. Thanks for watching.